Hello everyone, I am Prithvi, M.Com Final from MPM Government First Grade College, Karkala. Today I am going to discuss about the topic input tax and output tax. First we will see the meaning of input tax. Input tax means the central tax, state tax, integrated tax or union territory tax charged on supply of goods or services or both made to a registered person. It also includes tax paid on reverse charge basis and integrated tax, goods and service tax charged on import of goods. Here input tax means the GST taxes charged on any supply of goods or services or both made to a registered person in the course or furtherance of his business and includes such tax payable on reverse charge basis but excludes tax paid under composition levy. Next we'll see input tax credit. Input tax credit means at the time of paying tax on sales, firms can reduce the tax they have already paid on purchases. Earlier it was not possible to claim input tax credit for central sales tax, entry tax, luxury tax and other taxes. In addition, manufacturers and service providers could not claim the central excise duty. Here input tax credit is the tax paid by the buyer on purchase of goods or services. Such tax which is paid at the purchase when reduced from liability payable on outward supplies is known as input tax credit. Next we will see some conditions to avail input tax credit. In that first one, furtherance of business. Tax on those supply which is used in furtherance of business is available for ITC, means input tax credit. Here the furtherance of business does not mean only purchases. Furtherance of business means any supply which is used or in the course of business. And second one is possession of tax invoices. Documentary evidence of tax paid, that is tax invoices, credit note, is mandatory to be in possession of assessees who is availing input tax. Here the GST law mandates that any registered person buying goods or services from an unregistered person needs to issue a payment voucher as well as a tax invoice. A registered person cannot avail input tax credit unless he is in possession of tax invoice or a debit note. GST is chargeable at the time of supply. And third one is GST in to be mentioned. Documentary evidence must contain GST in of both supplier and recipient. The goods and service tax identification number declaration would also be mandatory in import or export documents for importers and exporters registered under GST. And fourth one, delivery is mandatory. Mere passing the entries in books of accounts does not avail input tax. Goods must be actually received or services must be actually availed. Here delivery challan is a document which is necessary with transportation of goods from one place to another when the transaction is not treated as supply under GST. And fifth one is payment to supplier. Assessees who is availing input tax is necessarily made payment of supply along with tax amount within 180 days from date of issue of tax invoices. Here, if assessee has not made payment of supply within 180 days, then the amount of tax which was taken as input tax credit was added to output tax liability of assessee. Next, how to claim input tax credit. The following conditions have to be met to be entitled to input tax credit under the GST scheme. In that first one must be a registered taxable person. Here taxable person is a person who carries on any business at any place in India and who is registered or required to be registered under the GST Act. And next one can claim input tax credit only if the goods and services received is used for business purposes. And a third one, input tax credit can be claimed only on exports of zero rated supplies and those are taxable. And fourth one, for a registered taxable person, if the constitution changes due to merger, sale or transfer of business, then the input tax credit which is unused shall be transferred to the merged, sold or transferred business. Here, if the constitution changes due to any merger, sale or transfer of business, then unused input tax credit must transfer to the merged, sold or transferred businesses only. And the fifth one is one can credit the input tax credit in his electronic credit ledger in a provisional manner on a common portal as prescribed in model GST law. Here, electronic credit ledger means that it displays the input tax credit balance available to the registered taxpayer. To make GST payment process convenient, each registered taxpayer gets electronic credit ledger. Sixth one is supporting documents like debit notes, tax invoice, supplementary invoice are needed to claim the input tax credit. Seventh one, if there is an actual receipt of goods and services, an input tax credit can be claimed. For claiming input tax credit, goods or services must be actually received. Hence, the goods or services received by the agent or by the job worker will be assumed to be received by the recipient only. And the eighth one is the input tax should be paid through electronic credit or cash ledger. Here, electronic cash ledger means that contains deposits that a taxpayer has made and any GST payments made through cash. The electronic cash ledger reflects the cash available to settle the tax liability, whereas the electronic liability ledger showcases the amount of tax payable by the taxpayer. Then finally, the electronic credit ledger displays the input tax credit balance available to the registered taxpayer. And the last one, all GST returns such as GST 1, 2, 3, 6 and 7 needs to be filed. Here GST 1 is the return to be furnished for reporting details of all outward supplies of goods and services made. GST 2 is the return for reporting the inward supplies of goods and services, that is the purchases made during the tax period. And GST 3 is a monthly summary return for furnishing summarized details of all outward supplies made, inward supplies received and input tax credit claimed along with details of the tax liability and taxes paid. GST 6 is a monthly return to be filed by input service distributor. It will contain details of input tax credit received and distributed by the ISD, means input service distributor. And GST 7 is a monthly return to be filed by a person required to deduct TDS, means tax deducted at source under GST. And next we will see output tax. Output tax is in relation to a taxable person, means the IGST, means integrated goods and service tax, chargeable under the act on taxable supply of goods and or services by him or his agent and excludes tax payable by him on reverse charge basis. Here output VAT must be calculated when goods or services are withdrawn for private use from a registered business. If goods are withdrawn for use that is not liable to VAT, means value added tax, under the VAT Act, VAT on withdrawals should be worked out unless the goods in question are capital goods which fall under the scope of adjustment provisions for input VAT, means value added tax. Then accordingly output tax is in relation to a taxable person, means taxable person who carries on any business at any place in India and who is registered or required to be registered under the GST Act. And next one means output tax means IGST, means integrated goods and service tax, chargeable under the law on taxable supply of goods or services. And third one, taxable supplies could be made by him or his agents. Means output tax supplies could be made by the taxable person or by his agent. And this excludes tax payable by him under reverse charge basis. Means reverse charge basis means it is a mechanism where the recipient of goods and or service is liable to pay GST instead of the supplier. And next we'll see differences between input tax and output tax. Here input tax is paid on purchases but output tax is paid on sales. Then input tax is available only on purchase from registered dealers but output tax is available on sales whether to a registered dealers or unregistered dealers. And input of local purchases only available, no input of CST means central state tax, but output tax can be on local sale or on central sales. A local sale is called output VAT means output value added tax. On central sales called output CST means central state tax or central state tax payable. Thank you.